Welcome to the Michigan Golfer Show. Join us each week as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great game.
Hi, this is Greg Johnson with Jack Berry, my mentor, really. I used to always say I was a young punk who started at the Grand Rapids Press, and they said, go cover golf. And I go there, and there's a guy named Jack Berry that it really isn't going to have anything to do with me because I'm this young punk who doesn't know what he's doing. And then there's Jack Saylor, another kind of gruff-looking bulldog guy that looked unapproachable. So I'm thinking, man, I'm not getting any help here. So what I did is I just paid attention, and I like to say Jack Berry taught me how to be a reporter, and Jack Saylor taught me how to write crazy leads. Yeah. So I got that too out of it. Anyway, so. What do you remember of Greg Johnson coming around?
Who was this guy from the Grand Rapids Press? Well, they did have you did have a predecessor who got out a little bit, and it was nice that an outstate paper, well, the Flint Journal was also would be out and covering golf tournaments. So those days were good. I was always happy to see somebody else out, and the more the merrier. I mean, they figured, hey, this is big time. We got the pre-press, the news. We got the Grand Rapids Press. So.
Well, and these guys did loosen up. Once I got to know them and I met their wives and met their families, it became a much nicer deal. And they became really good friends and people that I looked up to and went to dinner with and countless places and played a lot of golf with too over the time. So. It's really been a joy. Golf became my favorite thing to cover, and I know it was yours. And,
absolutely.
And so that's the thing I want to do with you now is just some favorites. So and just off the top of your head, you can call me and edit it later if you want. But I would say favorite tournament to just cover, just to go to and be part of.
Well, I did 43 Masters tournaments. How's that for a
That's
start?
a lot, yeah. That's way more than I did. I did a few, but not that many.
No, that is the absolute, I tell everyone that is the best run event in any sport, everything that they do there. And the course is magnificent. Of course, they do the best job at television without commercials. And nobody else does it better than that. I remember one time, Everett Kircher and Chuck Mall, who was his general manager, Everett, the owner of the
Boyne
kind of the father of Northern Michigan golf, yes. Through all the Boyne courses, and they came down to the Masters, and Everett was walking across from inside there across the first fairway, and he got down and he felt the grass down there. Wow, it was like feeling gold. I mean, he was so impressed with that, and so that's the whole that place is impressive. It's much hillier than you imagine, and that kind of got me towards the end. Those hills going up and down. Gets a little tougher.
Yeah, well, you taught me a few places to sit and Terry Moore.
Yes.
Because the first few times I was kind of a sweaty mess after going out there and going, I'm going to go see Amen Corner. Yeah. It's not as easy as you think. Right. You start thinking, if I do this too much faster, I'm going to be saying Amen. Yeah. So, but it is incredible. Yeah. There's really nothing like it. And I think if you're a golf writer and you haven't gone there, then you've really missed.
Absolutely. Well, then of the other major championships, you see the PGA and the U.S. Open. And those courses are always wonderful courses, and kept up in the best condition possible. And everybody's at the top of the game in those. And so the thing about covering golf was the best beat that there is. Now, my predecessor at the news, John Walter, used to say about golf, you go to the best places and meet the nicest people. And it's hard to beat that because that's exactly what it is. And we are fortunate in Michigan with all the courses, and thanks to Everett sparking the North, all the courses that we have all across the state now. We're only Florida and California, maybe Texas, have more golf courses than we have, and they're good golf courses. They're terrific golf courses, and so that's been just a great joy, and it was the best beat in the sports department, because you have to go to all these places. You know, I went to, I did four Open Championships, 2 of them at the Old Course, one that Nicholas won, and Faldo won, and 2 at Muirfield, where Lee Trevino and Tom Watson won. So how can you know, wow.
Yeah, you can't. We're in the Hall of Fame today, and that's a Hall of Fame list. Yeah,
yeah.
You're right.
And then Jack's course, Muirfield, what a good golf course that is, and they kind of ran a little bit tougher, even.
It's hard
with not as much kind of softness to it that you can get at Augusta.
Yeah, if not for Dave Hackenberg, I might still be in a bunker there.
Yeah,
you know, it's pretty deep bunkers.
Yeah.
But, I had to get a hand out.
Yeah.
But, favorite golfer to interview?
Oh boy.
Do you have a favorite interview over time? Or maybe one that was just repeatedly good every time?
Well, the fun guy was Dan Pohl,
Okay.
who's still at it up at Mount Pleasant. And see, because Dave Hill,
Okay.
he's number 1. Nobody.
He
liked
did give you a
Dave
lead,
Hill.
didn't he?
He was wonderful. You know, what a great sport he was. And,
Yeah, I remember that year in Grand Rapids where he playing in the senior tour. He hits it out of bounds on 18, and you guys all looked at me and go, "Hey, you're the local guy. You got to ask that question." So I had to pony up and ask it and get yelled at. So I didn't think it was all that great that day.
No, he and the Canadian. See, at this age, you forget the names.
That's okay.
He was a great long iron player, which Dave Hill is also a great long iron player.
Yeah.
He was. We missed him. He passed on, and his brother Mike always felt that the Detroit papers never gave him any publicity, that we only
I
wrote
remember
about
that.
Dave Hill. That was kind of tough.
Yeah.
But Mike O was absolutely. He wasn't that much younger. I mean, it was within a year or so of Dave, and Mike was a sensational player, right?
He was. Dave was just funnier.
Right.
And way more open.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But then Mike connected with Trevino on the senior tour, and they won. I don't know. They won at least 5 times or
they
more.
won a lot of money.
Yeah.
They finally cashed in.
Yeah.
It became the second tour. They didn't do that for writers. There was no second tour for us where we could make extra money. But, we've managed to keep eating.
Yes.
So you have a favorite golf course you've ever played? I know you've played all over the world. So is there a favorite golf course you played? I'm sure it doesn't have any water on it. You don't like water.
Absolutely, you are so correct there. I am the number 1 aquaphobe. And gosh, I think of a local golf course that we play on Tuesdays. Glenhurst, it's a year younger than me.
Oh, there you go.
And it's got a couple of those miserable holes with the water on it. But as a favorite course, I don't know what. Fortunately, I like a couple of the ones over in Ireland. Really enjoyed. We were fortunate, and Terry's been over there a number of times too. And the courses, I've been fortunate to play 22 actual links courses all the way around the island. And I especially like the ones on the west coast and up and across the north. And it's. I also learned with a couple of Irish friends, I learned about crystal, Waterford crystal, and Bolique china. So I've got a cabinet full of those.
You became a collector.
I supported them.
Oh, that's great. Do you have a? I'm gonna make you give a choice. Who's the greatest player of all time that you've covered? You know, the one that you just think, wowed you more than any other? I'm going to ask you your favorite golfer, and not so much favorite golfer, but the best golfer you think, who's the best golfer you've ever covered, that just based on pure performance, not so much as an interview or as a story, but as just a pure performer that really impressed you.
Well, Nicklaus was fairways and greens and putts. I mean, he they always talk about Tiger, who I did not. He came along after I left the paper. Tiger was here, there, and everywhere, whereas Jack was in the fairway.
You could usually find him, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So a pure player. It's tough to beat Jack Nicklaus.
Okay, I figured you might be in that camp. Plus,
Yeah.
I remember he signed a book for you, The Only Masters You Missed, of
Yeah.
course. So talk a little bit about that. The one you got sick and you couldn't beat it.
I didn't know it was his when he won his 6th jacket. I was president of the Golf Writers at the time, and I had a real busy week going into the tournament, and I wasn't feeling that good, and come on, his name from Pittsburgh.
Mike
Drum?
Kern.
Bob Drum?
No.
Marino?
Marino.
Oh, Marino.
Paracenso.
Marino Paracenso.
And Marino said, "Oh, it's because of all the yellow is the trees have that dropping the what have I said that
Pollen.
The pollen.
pollen.
Yeah,
pollen.
there you go. The
Trees
pollen.
they looked like the cars would look like they had a pollen coating
Oh, yeah.
on them.
I remember that.
So I was having trouble kind of breathing, it seemed like, during that. But on Sunday morning, at the Masters, all those majors, the last round doesn't begin, or for the players, the leaders, doesn't start until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
Right.
so that they can end on TV time. And I ran around. There's a lake just east of Augusta National, and I kind of ran around that on Sunday morning. I have to say I did run 3 marathons: Detroit,
that-
Philadelphia, and New
Oh,
York.
I'm glad we wrote that in.
So I
Yeah.
was a semi-runner at the time, and got around there, and then get to the golf course, and then Jack wins awesomely, and so that's huge story, and everybody is in the press building, which was a Quonset hut at the time, until dark. The guys wanted to take down all the numbers off the scoreboard, and can we leave by now? No, everybody had to finish their job. So anyway, I got out of there late at night, and I wasn't feeling that good. Came home, and I went to the doctor 3 times in that week, and the doctors were not very smart and true. And the last one finally took an EKG and said, told my wife, take him to the ER. Oh, thank you. So I got to the ER, and I nearly died that night. I had acute viral myocarditis.
Well, I'm glad there was one smart doctor out of 3 there. That's
right.
good.
And who became a great Irish friend of mine.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah.
Greg McKendrick. And I got him into the Masters next year.
Oh, there you
for
go.
that. And, so that was my most memorable experience in golf. Was that event.
All right. Well, thank you, Jack. Thanks. It's always been a pleasure to work with you and to learn from you. And I greatly appreciate when you send me a note and tell me I did a good job on something, because I know somebody's reading. And
Yes.
I'm usually pretty sure Jack's reading
Yeah.
it. As long as Jack's reading, I'm okay with it. If he thinks it's good, then I figure I did a pretty good job. But thanks so much for being my mentor and my friend.
Well,
And,
I turn on that computer, and it's Greggy. He's all the way down.
I stay
there.
busy, don't I?
You
Yeah.
stay busy.
Well, I learned if you don't hustle, you don't keep up with the Jacks of the world. So I
Greg
had to
and Terry and Art, the 3 closest friends that I have in golf.
Oh.
I've been very privileged.
Thank you.